Hi, my name is Vincent Brown, and this is my final speech. It is a persuasive speech, and the topic that I chose to do was on mental illness. I decided to do a lot of research on my topic. I've got a few books, I did a little online research, but honestly, I didn't want to use any of that information in my actual speech. I felt that it was better to speak from my heart and to understand, to give a better understanding of mental illness. This is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. My entire family, including myself, have worked in the mental health field. Everybody in my family has worked with mentally handicapped people. I've actually grown up with a lot of people and dealt with it, and it is truly a career that you need to have an actual heart and a passion for. I started researching different mental illnesses because the ones that I'm familiar with are Down syndrome and fetal alcohol syndrome, things like that. But the ones that I didn't really know much about were like bipolar disorder and schizophrenia and things like that. I had a baseline knowledge of what they were, but I did not know the ins and outs of it. And ironically, the reason I chose bipolar disorder is because actually a young lady that I work with, she's only 15, her mother has bipolar disorder and her sister has it as well. And she said that growing up was rough and she didn't understand why her sister and her mother acted the way they acted, and she didn't forgive them for the things they had said to her or the way they had acted to her. And I had tried to explain to her that, someone who's dealing with mental illness is not in control of their own bodies. They're not in control of their own mind. And just like you feel unsure or scared about the way they treat you or act to you, they feel the same way. I told her, I said, imagine you not being in control of your own body. Imagine something else being in control of you, and the only thing you can do is watch what's happening, but you can't stop it. Mental illness runs in my family. A lot of people in my family deal with it because a lot of people don't know that depression is a mental illness. Depression runs deep in my family. It's something that I deal with. Depression, anxiety, things like that. It's something that I personally deal with. And only recently have I come out and actually told people that I deal with it and that I'm, seeking medication and seeking counseling and things like that to get over my depression and my issues. I always thought that it was just I was having a rough time and I wasn't able to cope with it, and it was just the way my body reacted to it and the way my body acknowledged it. But honestly, I came to find out later that I had a chemical imbalance. And I never really knew what that meant until I found out that it was just the basic levels in your body, the vitamins that your body's supposed to have, the minerals and the proteins and everything that's in your body that your body's supposed to be made up of. Mine was at a lower level than the average level, so my body didn't function like a normal person's body does. Knowing that and understanding that gave me a better handle on my situation and understanding why it is the way it is. I always wondered, why can't I walk around with a smile on my face like everybody else? Why can I not get out of a stupor? Why can I not, shake myself out of a situation? Why is it something that just overtakes my body? And I found out that it was nothing I could control. It was nothing that I could do. It was just the way that I was genetically built. Later on, through research, I found out that my mother suffers from it. One of my sisters suffers from it. My grandmother suffered from it. I never knew that. And it just, like I said, it runs in my family. And it's usually one or two out of every generation deals with it. The reason why I chose this topic is because I think people need to understand that this is something that you can't control. This is something that's beyond you. It's greater than you. And yes, you can get help for it, but you'll never be cured from it. It's not curable. It is just the way you're made up. It is who you are. The only thing you can do is learn to overcome it and learn to tolerate it. That is what I want people to understand, that, don't look at people differently because of the way they were born, because it's just that, the way they were born. It's not something they asked for. It's not something they sought out. It's not something they even thought that they were going to ever deal with in their life. It is just the way it is. It is who they are, and they can't be anything other than who they are. I want people to understand that people that deal with mental illnesses are just like anybody else. They're just like everyone else. They just have a different way of learning and a different way of coping with different things. So I think that once people understand that it's not a choice, it's not something that they can just walk away from, that people will be more accepting and more understanding that, it's a lot to be considered a normal person, but what exactly is normal? What is your normal? Well, honestly, for me to be depressed and have anxiety disorders, that's my normal. that is my normal. That's who I am. That's what I'm made of. That is what I deal with every day. So it's my normal. But you know, I couldn't tell you what normal for everyone else is because I don't have the same life that everybody else has. Someone with Down syndrome, that's their normal. They don't know how to be any other way than that. They don't know how to live any other way than that. That's their normal. Someone who's schizophrenic, that's their normal. That's just who they are. So I don't think it's fair to judge someone based on their differences, but to take the time to learn about their differences and to educate yourself and understand that the more knowledge that you have, the easier it is to cope with these situations, the easier it is to deal with someone with these situations. But the minute you start to treat someone differently is the minute that they begin to act differently. I always told people, the clients that I've had several clients that have dealt with several different things, and I've always told people that I don't treat people with mental disorders differently than other people. I don't treat people differently. If you treat a child, let's say a child with autism, for instance, if you treat a child with autism that they're different, then they're going to act different because you have made it known to them that they are different. Kids don't know that they're not like other kids. Every kid feels like they're like everyone else. There's a lot of kids that don't even know they're a different race than other kids until someone else brings it up into their knowledge and lets them know. It's all about knowledge. So I hope by this speech that you can understand that this is something that we need to take control of. This is something that we need to educate ourselves on. This is something that we need to do to help us be able to deal with others and to help us be a cohesive United States, a cohesive species. I don't really know how much more I could tell because I could go on and on. I've had several experiences that I've dealt with. I've had several issues that I've dealt with, and it's difficult to explain a situation that someone else hasn't dealt with, you know, but all I can say is do the research, learn about it, find out what you need to know about it, and help people by educating yourselves. I have 3 audience members here. You can show yourselves so that you can verify that I have my audience members. And the one. Thank you very much.